Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Excuse me as I transition here for a sec. Oh, transition. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Some physical transitions. We've talked before about transitions coming back from the pandemic as things open up, as things get better. Hopefully, what are we going to do to maintain those things that we've been working on, those things that we've built into our routine that we don't want to lose, and we've suggested ways to hang on to those. But tonight what I want to talk about are ways to physically transition yourself into the things opening back up and getting back into that way of life. So to Facebook, hey Chris, welcome. Instagram isn't working, so I had to transition a little bit there. For some reason it doesn't with me every week now. But anyway, we're here. Welcome to PatFacts again, transition. Chris and I, along with Blake and Maria, transitioned recently away from our three not so wise men and a much wiser lady. Hey, Bonnie, welcome. Good to see you. And yeah, as Bonnie mentions here, possibly a fourth wave coming. Some people say in Ontario, we're already in that fourth wave, unfortunately. So again, we're going to transition back and forth a few times. So again, like I mentioned, Chris and I, along with Blake and Maria, transitioned away from our Three Not So Wise Men and a Wiser Lady show, thinking that things were potentially over and that people were kind of moving on and getting on with different things. And what I want to talk about tonight, again, is transitioning physically, because we've talked before a bit about planning your activities, planning your schedule, making sure you hang on to those things that you've been doing that you really want to keep and maintain, and not going back to the way you used to be before the pandemic, but coming out of the pandemic better and stronger. And tonight, what I want to focus on are those physical transitions, because I've seen people that are already kind of getting back into their activity, their normal way of life activity-wise, and they're kind of paying the price a little bit because they didn't transition for that properly. So think of it, we've been off for, gyms have pretty much been closed for over a year, 16 months or so. We had a little glimpse of maybe some outdoor things opening partway through, and then things closed again. So if you're a gym goer, you haven't really had that outlet. You haven't had that chance to be out there and move your body and lift the weights or take the classes that you've been doing. And the old adage, if you don't use it, you lose it, really is accurate in terms of physical fitness and physical conditioning. If you're not continuing your movements or continue to put stress on the body and push it to those limits and work through your comfort zone, you're going to what we call regress, or kind of go backwards a little bit. The good news is it's not permanent, and you'll get back to where you were faster than you did the first time, because you have that memory, you have that muscle memory, you've been there, your body and mind know what to do. But it's very important for us to, hey, Rosanna, to realize that we're not where we were when we stepped away. So if you were a gym goer, if you were active, maybe playing sports, a lot of our team sports and things shut down as well, when you transition back to things being open, you need to remember that you haven't been doing it for 16, 17 months. And that you, for a lot of us, you're 16 and 17 months older, and that can make a difference in your body as well and how it responds. So you're not going to be able to go back to right where you were right away. And I've seen it with a guy, I think he's 19 or so at work. Same idea. He went back to the gym. He put the weights where they were before. He racked the machines as they were before. And he went to town, did his workout that he was doing when things shut down back in 2020. And he was sore for 4 days after because his body wasn't used to that level. So I'm going to give you about 3 tips to kind of work through, to think of as we transition back to hopefully things opening back up. And again, we'll touch on transitioning if things do close down, and this information will pertain to you, to anyone really. We're focusing on the pandemic right now, but this does work even if you're going away on vacation, if you're going away for work, for business, if you're going to visit some family, if your gym has to close because of renovations, or maybe there's a water leak and you lose your gym facilities for a few days. Again, that transition is going to be there multiple times. So we're going to plan for it like we always try to do, make a system and a plan so when these things come up, we're equipped to handle it, and it doesn't have the effect on us that it could because we put the systems in place. So the three things I want to touch on for getting back into it. We're going to start coming out of the transition because hopefully most of us either already have or are about to. So the first one I want to talk about is, and this may be a little late, but again, it'll kind of tie into the next time you get a little transition the other way, is maintain or maintenance. If you're leaving your workout space, your gym is shutting down, you're going away for a little bit, we want to try to at least maintain our fitness. Or if maybe not maintain, at least slow down us losing it. Because if we do some activity, some exercise, we can slow that process down at least. So our loss won't be so big when we get back to the gym and our regular routine. We want to try to do our best to maintain where our fitness level and what it is. So you can do that in a variety of different ways. You can take your workouts with you. You can watch videos. You can have equipment. I don't have any here with me, but fitness bands and loops, that sort of thing. Got tubing here. See if this will reach you guys. So something like this, a piece of fitness tubing. You've seen me here before, and on my workouts use my Liebert fat bands. So the big loop bands, or even the small loop bands, the hip trainers, things like that are easy to throw in your suitcase, your travel bag, and you can pull them out at the hotel or Airbnb, get a little workout in when you need to. It doesn't take up a ton of space and isn't awkward and clunky, very easy to use, and you get a nice workout from that. Sometimes we'll just change and use our body. We always have to move our body every day. So, and again, if you've been with me for my workouts during the pandemic, I always said, if you don't have weights, move your body. We always have to move our body every day. So body weight does count. So we can do that. Maybe we modify our reps, our intensity, the time, the duration of what we're doing to maybe better mimic what we do when we're at home or at the gym. Hey, Kathy. But we modify and we do the best we can with what we have. And there are options out there. A lot of hotels and places have gyms and workout centers you can go and use and utilize. And we always have good intentions, right? We always say, yeah, I pack my gym clothes. This time I'm going to go to the gym every morning and get that workout in before we get up and go to dinner or go to those buffets. And then intentions only get us so far. So we got a plan. We have to have that purpose. Maybe look ahead and see what the gym has or doesn't have. If it doesn't have something you like to use, again, maybe that's something you can bring on your own. Maybe you can bring like a Liebert hit system where you can throw it over the door and anchor and do some weight training. Or our bands, like we talked about, you can use those to give you a little bit of resistance. Maybe there's something in the room that you can use for a bit of resistance. Maybe you get the ice bucket, put some ice in it, and that gives you a little bit of resistance that you can use. A little extra weight past your body weight to be able to do some things. And then you've got some ice later for a nice rehydration drink while you're enjoying your workout as well. So you're multitasking. But we need to put plans in place, and we need to do them before we go, because we get there and we get caught up in the moment and we kind of lose sight of that. Same thing now that we know that these pandemics or events are possible, let's put the plans in place now to avoid having the big effect that they have on us like they did this time. Let's put things in place so that we know if my gym shuts down again, I can stay active by doing this. I can at least maintain what it is I've been working towards so long, so that when things get back to normal, I can continue my progression, or at least I'm not taking 6 steps back. Maybe I'm just 2 or 3 steps back, and then I can catch up nice and quick. But again, we need to plan and have things in place. So again, if you've built a home gym and have some equipment, if you've been thinking about it, maybe haven't, now is still probably a good time to have that, because again, people say that this is kind of just the beginning. Things like this are going to happen again, whether it's pandemics, whether it's big global events, natural disasters, whatever the case may be. Even just things like life changes can really affect your ability to go to the gym or be active. Job changes, schedule changes, all these things can have an effect. So the more, again, prepared we can be, you know what works now if you're at home. Or you know what doesn't work if you're at home. Maybe you haven't been as active as you meant to be. Maybe you were and then you fell off. Again, let's look at all these things and find a way so that the next time something comes up, you're better able to handle that, better able to at least maintain. And that's our first goal when we're facing a transition or a layoff. Hey, Brian, welcome. Good to see you, champ. We want to be able to at least maintain that high level of fitness, so that again, we're not starting from scratch or starting from the beginning. Maybe we catch up a little bit, but we're there. So that's my first tip, is try to maintain as best you can. And with all of these, especially the maintenance, maybe that's when we want to get a coach involved. As a fitness coach, a wellness coach, I can give you sort of the tips and guidance to help you maintain. Because either I know what you've been doing because we've been working together, or as I come in, I can look at what you've been doing, and then I can plan steps and say, okay, you do this at the gym, you're going somewhere with no gym, but you have this and this and this, so let's do these exercises to help you maintain what it is you've been working towards. And then when you come back, we'll get back into the gym in a smart way, which leads me to my tip number 2, or my second kind of topic about physical transitions, is ease back into it. Again, I mentioned my friend who, again, young guy in his 20s, very fit, played high-level volleyball things. He was not laid up, but very stiff and sore for 3 or 4 days because he didn't ease back into his workout. He went back to where he was 16 months ago. And by not going to the gym, there's no way he was there. He was active at work and he's busy and has a demanding job. But before, he was doing that and exercising. So to take the exercise away, there wasn't enough there to maintain his fitness. And so he went back and put those weights on again where they were before. He did the same reps, the same tempo, the same pacing, the same workout that he was doing 16 months ago. And his body was like, he told him for 4 days, nope, we're not there anymore. We're a little bit back here somewhere. And again, that's okay. That does happen. But we want to ease into things anytime we have a bit of a layoff, whether that's a pandemic, whether it's, again, a vacation that maybe we didn't maintain as much as we wanted to, or maybe we didn't maintain 100%. Maybe we maintained, say, 75% of where we were. So if our fitness level was here, instead of dropping way down, maybe we just dropped a little bit, but we did drop. So we still want to ease back into that starting position when we started the layoff or the transition. Maybe we're injured and have to take some time off to let the body heal and recover. Then again, same thing, we want to ease back into it, especially around that injured area. But we want to ease the whole body back into that. So maybe we definitely bring the weights back down. So maybe you just scale them down a little bit and then work your way back up until you find that spot that works great for you. Again, maybe we change the rep counts. If you're doing, say, 12 repetitions, maybe we drop it down to 8. And we work through, we drop the weight, drop the reps, and then build ourselves back up. We ease ourselves back into it. We get those muscles moving again. If you've been away for even a weekend at a conference, sitting like this, watching information, watching presentations or something, networking maybe, and then you get up and try to go to the gym and do big, powerful squats or lunges or even move your upper body a little bit, things are going to be stiff and tight. So you want to work through that a little bit with ease so the body gets used to that again. The mind goes, oh, good. We're not just sitting still. We're moving again. We're opening up our body. We're doing some complex movements. We need to think about what we're doing and coordinate all those muscles and movements together. So you want to ease back into that to wake it up. It's almost like the warm up in a workout, but we use that workout, those first couple, to get back into things. And then we start to up the weights and the reps to gradually get back to where we want to go. And that kind of takes me to tip number 3 with pacing. We want to pace ourselves through that. So you need to listen to your body. We want always talk about mind-muscle connection, having it very sharp and knowing what your body needs to do to perform a movement that we are maybe doing in the gym, but also knowing what your body needs to maybe, again, ease back into things. We want to pace ourselves to know when it's okay to progress. Don't just do one set and then go, okay, I'm ready, and up the weights. No, it's going to take a couple of workouts. Depending on you and your history, it could take a few workouts. If you're maybe just get into it during the pandemic, maybe you're out of it for a little bit now and you say, you know what, I like it. PatFacts got me going. Thursday morning, I'm getting back into it. Awesome. Ease into it. Pace yourself. Listen to your body. This is your first big break. It's going to take you, again, a little longer than someone who maybe takes scheduled breaks or has taken breaks before to get back to that level. So the big key here is to not get frustrated. And that's how a lot of people fall out of fitness, because they work and they work and they work and they work and they see progress and they're feeling great. And then the boss says, okay, I need you to go away this weekend to a symposium, to a conference. Okay, the family's going away on vacation. There's no gym, and you're away for a few days. And then you come back to the gym, to that workout, and then you hurt, you ache. and you're back to maybe that starting position. And then people think, oh, well, what was the point? I did all that work, and now I'm back at ground zero. I'm back at square one. So if we maintain, we won't get back to square one. We'll at least not go so close to that. Maybe we'll just go back a couple of squares, we'll say, down a couple of pegs instead of all the way. If we ease back into it, then our body and our mind can kind of wake up and rejuvenate and reconnect and get used to that movement again. And it'll kind of look through your filing system and go, oh yeah, we used to do this exercise thing. I remember back here, yeah, there's the squat and the lunge. Yeah, we do these curls with our arms. I remember all this. Yeah, it's back here. It's filed away. Because that's what we do with our movements. We file them away so they become easier and automatic. Sometimes we just have to take out that file and open it up and blow the dust off it a little bit after those breaks. So that's what easing ourselves into it. And then again, we pace ourselves. So we listen to our body. We follow our routines if our coach has given us a routine. And again, if you have one, even if you have a routine yourself, again, take it a few steps back. Hopefully you're tracking your workouts in a journal or a workout log. Go back a few workouts to maybe your last change when you made things more challenging. Go back one or two of those and then gradually work your way back up. And like I said, because you have that filing system here with movement patterns and muscle memory in there, you'll get back to where you were before the layoff very, very quickly, much faster than you did the first time. But again, it is going to take a little bit of time. So be patient with yourself, be understanding with yourself. And if you found you took a bit of a layoff, a transition out of your fitness, and when you transition back in, it's very tough, learn from it. Again, maybe you really look at your maintenance. Did you maintain or try to maintain as best you could during your transition away? And again, pandemic, it was a little sketchy and just different. We didn't know what was going to happen, what was going on. We thought it would be a 2-week lockdown, and we're in month 19 or so of what was supposed to be a 2-week lockdown. So there was a lot of unknowns. And again, I've shared my opinion of how I am disappointed that gyms were amongst the last things to open. So we'll save the rest of that for another talk. But again, we need to transition in and out of this. So now we know what to expect. Now we need to learn, maybe, did I get into a bit of a rut when I was home? Did I get too far out of my physical activity routine? I know some of you have joined me since the pandemic, and we're doing the live workouts. And again, those are coming back soon, live and on demand. Thanks for your patience with that. And thanks for those who have joined me. Again, that platform is coming very, very soon. More to come. But some of you started a physical fitness routine during the pandemic. And that's amazing. That's awesome. You're bettering yourself. You're taking advantage of the opportunities given to you, making the most of a crummy situation. And that's awesome. That's amazing. That's a feather in your cap for sure. But again, if you were doing that and maybe fell off the wagon a little bit, which happens to everybody, learn from it. What happened? What made you fall off that wagon? Did you go away? When things open up, did you go visit some family and maybe not keep those workouts in as best you could have? And then maybe one day off turn into 3 or 4 or 6. And then it's harder to get back in. So we talked about maintain, ease back into it, pace. And the extra little tip for that is have a plan. And we always talk about that. Have a system, have a plan, and a system you have for one goal, one kind of component of your life should factor into other components of your life. You may have to tweak it for that specific component a little bit, but the main frame, the main system should be able to be transferable from fitness to nutrition to wellness, because you have a system that works for you. So again, now you know what maybe works or what doesn't. Learn from both of those and then make a system that works for you. As Bonnie mentioned, maybe a fourth wave. Stuff I've heard in Ontario, at least, is that technically we're in a fourth wave, and that it's just going to come again and get worse because of vaccinations and things. And again, I'm not here to discuss whether you think that's right or not. That's your opinion. But if we go into a fourth wave, we need to transition maybe back to being at home. So transitioning back, again, we mentioned maintain. That's going to be our first goal if we're coming out of the gym. So if you're at the gym now, you're back to it, you're back to that baseball league, you're back going for runs with your friends. back to that yoga class, whatever it is you're doing, if things shut down, or again, if you just go away for a weekend or a week or two on vacation. If you go to Aruba with Blake and Chris next year, there's going to be some fitness there, but you need to make a little bit of a plan to help maintain what it is you're doing. So even with that, we want to maintain, we want to plan, and ideally we plan in advance. We're proactive, not reactive. So what I want you to do is think of a plan that's going to work for you. Again, look how you handled going through the pandemic and lockdowns the first time. What did you do? Did you adapt? Did you buy equipment? Did you have equipment at home that maybe you had to dust off a little bit to get into those workouts you were doing? Did you find maybe a fitness coach that was doing live workouts or programs? Maybe you have some old VHS tapes. Remember those, kids, that you put in and followed? Maybe that you found someone, again, online, YouTube. Maybe you had books or DVDs that came with your equipment. What did you do to get into it, and did it work? If so, great. Remember that. Keep that. Keep those things together. Keep them accessible so that, again, if things happen, you can grab them. If you're going away, maybe you can grab one of those VHS tapes or those DVDs. Maybe there's something you can bring digitally onto your tablet or something, your phone, to watch with you in your hotel room. And again, a couple of bands or even a water bottle. A bottle of water, the water is going to move. That gives you some resistance. Little things. It doesn't have to be complex. It can be very, very simple. So find things that work for you. Create a system. Create a routine. Again, if you are at the gym and have to transition away from it and aren't sure how, if you don't already, maybe that's when you get a wellness coach, where, again, I can help you create that routine that's going to help you at least maintain as best we can. And then again, when things open back up, that coach can also help you ease into things and pace yourself and progress at an appropriate level to make sure you're safe, reduce the risk of injury, and that you're getting those results and getting back to where you were before the transition out of the physical activity happened. So that's what we want to do. Again, it's all about planning. Any system that we've talked about, if you watch anything else, if you see Blake's other videos that he looks after, I watch Todd Durkin, Bernard Burchard, a variety of coaches and mentors that I learn from to try to share information with you and to get myself performing at a higher level. It's all about systems. High-level businesses and companies have systems in place so that they know what happens when, so that things run smoothly, so that they get the results that they want to get. We're the same way. We need those systems in place. So plan now for a transition. Do you travel a lot for work? Are you retired and just like to travel around whenever you have the opportunity? You can still maintain your fitness. Again, a couple of bands in the car, use some resistance. Your body moving itself always gives you that resistance, but put plans in place so that if something comes up, like a last minute trip or a pandemic or again, an injury, maybe a family situation changes and you can't get to the gym as much, you're ready to handle it because you put steps in place. And it gives you a nice alternative sometimes when maybe you can't make it to the gym one day because the weather, or again, maybe the gym loses power and can't open. Okay, I'm not going to lose my workout today, but I'm just going to switch it a little bit to work out at home so I can maintain my consistency in my program. That's a big key of it too. You maintain physically your strength and your endurance and things, but your consistency in your program. And that builds confidence up here and keeps you more willing to want to keep that workout going because you're staying consistent. You're achieving just that, at least, of completing your workout every day. And for a lot of us, especially starting out, that consistency is the victory. That's the improvement. The physical improvements come later on, but it's that consistency and that accomplishment that do a lot for us. So again, take the time, and we've mentioned before, again, with activities and hobbies and things that you maybe developed during the pandemic, about taking time to schedule and plan those in so you keep them. And they may not be exactly the same as they have been during lockdowns and isolations, but do what you can to maintain them. Same thing with your fitness. If you're getting back to the gym or sports or activities, even if you've been active doing your workouts, a fitness class or a weight training routine is not the same as running up and down a basketball court or down the baseline of a baseball field. Again, you're going to have to ease into those things and do some prep for them and build them up. So put the steps in place to do that. Bonnie says, when I first started with you, I did half the class and gradually worked up with the full class. That helped me. Awesome, buddy. Yeah, that's a great thing to do. For some people, I've had members take my classes in person, but come in and just do the warm-up. Spin classes especially. Spinning classes is quite intense for a lot of people. It doesn't look super intense, maybe because it's on a bike and you're sitting, so some people kind of misjudge it a bit. They don't know that wheel can weigh about 30 pounds that you're pushing. So they get in and they start going and their seat hurts because of the bike seat's not comfortable and their legs fatigue and it's very tough. So for some, I'll say just come pedal for 30 minutes. Keep the tension light, just pedal. Get used to how the bike feels, play with the gears a bit, know how it works. Or just come in and do the workout, do the warm-up, and then come back the next time, try the warm-up and a song. And then gradually 2 songs. The spin is very song specific typically. And then they build up to that over time. But again, they ease into it and they pace themselves. And I've seen so many that I've said, suggested to them, just do the warm-up, just pedal the bike. If the class gets too intense because it's new for you, just feel free, sit on the bike and pedal. And just doing that gets you more used to the bike and builds some confidence and endurance so that the next time it's easier. And they go, yeah, sure. And then the first drill comes in, they bang, they hit it and they go. And then they leave partway through the class because they've overdone it. Or they never come back because they're so sore and uncomfortable from pushing that hard and overdoing it that they think, oh, I can't do that. It's too hard. No, you can do it. You just need to pace yourself and ease yourself and progress yourself as you're ready. Same as anything else. We want to transition through different stages. So again, I usually come back to the bike example. You didn't just hop on 2 wheels and ride. You had a tricycle, you had a bike with training wheels, maybe raise the training wheels so you had to balance and just have them there to catch you. The training wheels come off, you had someone holding the bike to help you feel that balance, get used to it, before eventually getting able to pedal and ride by yourself. But for a lot of us, excuse me, there were lots of falls along the way. Again, it's just learning, but we had to go through those different transitions first. And any skill we take on is like that. Fitness is a skill, it's a lifestyle. It's not just one thing. So we want to keep progressing through those transitions safely and smartly and with a plan. So make sure that you have a plan, or you work with someone who can help you give you a plan as you go forward. So again, trying to maintain things as best you can, again, coming out. If you didn't invest in some home equipment during this pandemic, maybe it's time to invest. Maybe it's time to get a little bit of a home gym set up. It doesn't have to be very big and expensive. Again, simple is great. Even just a space to move your body around is great. But things you see me use, if you've seen my workouts, again, I'm affiliate with Liebert Fitness, and I love the products, but Liebert equalizers and the bands. I've used medicine balls, different tubing, hand weights. All those things are compact. You can really tuck them away into a corner when you need that space. You can stack interlock the EQs a little bit. You put the weights and the tubing underneath them. You could even put something over top of it or put it even behind a chair or something if you wanted it kind of out of sight. So it doesn't have to be a big squat rack and big cable machines. It doesn't have to be that way. If you want that, great, that's good for you. But don't feel like you have to set up a whole industrial type gym or a commercial type gym in your basement. You can find ways to work through that, and again, at least maintain. And that's kind of the first goal. If we can progress and improve, even better. But we at least want to maintain as best we can. So maybe it's time to look at a few pieces of home equipment. Maybe it's time to dust off that home equipment. Maybe it's time for your exercise bike to not be a clothes rack or a clothes hanger. Maybe it's time for your weight bench to not be a bench to store boxes. Maybe you need to dust that stuff off and have it ready to go. And again, maybe use it sometimes. Sometimes it's nice to stay home in the quiet, get your own workout in, not wait for machines to be available, and just be in your own space. Sometimes you just can't make the gym. So it's nice to have that alternative ready for you. And it takes away those excuses. Well, the gym's lost power, so I guess I won't work out today. Well, the gym doesn't have power, but I have power, so I can go down and I can lift some weights, or I can be active and move. And I can maintain my progress. I can maintain my consistency. I can maintain my fitness during this temporary setback of the gym not being open. And we're too quick sometimes to fall into that almost poor me, or, well, I tried, because there's an excuse there. There's a block. There's a barricade. And remember, we always want to try to work either over, under, around, or through those barricades whenever we can. And the more we plan and have systems in place, and maybe multiple plans in place, then again, the more likely we are to see better results, and the more likely we are to progress toward that goal that we ultimately have set for ourselves. So again, it's up to you. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do with your fitness? So again, just to recap, going into a transition of being away from the gym, again, maintenance is the key we want to work through. Find some way to maintain your fitness as best you can. Even if it's not 100%, you don't keep it like here and you fall to here. Falling to here is better than falling way down to here. As if this is my fitness level, say beginner, and this is where you are. A little bit of regression or going backwards is not as hard to come out of as a whole bunch of it. But again, if you can't maintain, again, it is easier to get out of. But we want to, than it was to kind of get there the first time. But we want to try our best to not go all the way back to square one. So put plans in place. Maybe look at investing in some home gym equipment. Or again, just having a space available to do some working, or having a plan. Is there a park close by that you can use to do some bodyweight exercises or some movement in? Is your backyard open and available to do some things? Is there some space there where you can maybe just be outside and feel calm and relaxed and kind of, again, internal, so you can focus on your movements and what it is you're doing? We have to put those plans in place. So have a plan in place, have a couple of plans in place in case things come up, and work on doing your best to maintain. And as you come out of the transition, back to more physical activity, back to more exercise and fitness or sport, whatever it is for you, again, the maintenance should help us by keeping us closer to where our fitness level was beforehand. But again, typically it may not be there. So, or even if it is, probably the exercises will be a little different. So again, ease back into things, drop the weights down, go back a bit on the repetitions, just make it a little bit easier. That's what we're doing. Easing back into it, we're making the workout a little bit easier, and that's okay, because we want to get the body and the mind used to it again, so we can be safe and get back to that point where we were before much quicker. And pace yourself. Listen to your body. We always want to do that anyway when we're exercising. Know when you need breaks and things, but listen and know when you're ready to transition back to that higher level. And again, it won't be right back there right away. You may have to go through a few levels to get back to that point. That's okay. It's part of the process. Don't get frustrated because you have to take a couple steps back because you haven't been doing your routine. It happens. Work your way back up. Gradually be patient with yourself. Be confident in yourself. You get back to where you were before, and you'll continue to progress onward and upward. And like we like to say here, you'll continue to ascend till the end if you put those steps in place. So if you need help with your maintenance plan, with your home gym plan, with your workout plan, again, reach out. Remote fitness coaching coming soon. Within the next couple weeks, we'll get the details out, if not sooner. Again, on-demand workouts. The Pat on Your Back virtual fitness that we had going earlier this year is going to be relaunching again through a different platform, but that's coming soon. So you'll have on-demand workouts plus a chance to join us live here and there once we figure out scheduling and the system itself. So stay tuned for that. But again, reach out if you need that coaching, that assistance. Maybe we can work to help you work with your schedule and figure out a spot for you and a plan for you that works with what you have to do, works maybe with your travel or with your home gym and your studio that you go to once in a while. We can give you the tips and tricks and the tools to help you be successful. So reach out if you need to, but plan. Think of the expectations and schedule. We talked about scheduling, again, those times that you like. Schedule your workouts like we always say. Put those in, work around them like they're your appointments. But look ahead in your schedule. Do you know when there's times you have to travel for work? Or do you know when that family vacation is coming up? Yes, in 6 months, I'm going to this place. Is there a gym? I'm not sure. Let's check. Okay, yes, there's a gym. I can do a virtual tour. I see that they have these machines. Or I called the hotel and they said, here's what we have. Okay, perfect. Let's take what you're doing now and let's transfer it to those machines. or they don't have the machines I like, I can't get this exercise. Okay, you know what? You've got your bands, throw your bands in your suitcase. We're gonna do this band workout in your hotel room every morning for just like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, get yourself moving. And then you can maintain as you're going and come back and continue on that road to that optimally performing you. But again, reach out. That's what we're here for, to help everyone be operationally fit. That's it for tonight, gang. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all the support and the tuning in. Again, if you're on replay as well, drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know here in the chat, again, live or on the replay, how do you maintain? What do you do when there's a transition? How did you handle the pandemic? How do you handle when you go away on vacation and can't get to the gym for a few days? Or maybe how are you going to handle coming out of the pandemic when you've been working from exercising from home and now there's an opportunity to do some things outside or at the gym? Or how are you going to maintain your home workout with maybe being back at work or having that kind of maybe busier schedule that maybe we didn't have those first few months? Or again, what are you going to do if we do go into a fourth wave and things have to be restricted again? Again, they're saying maybe, again, in Ontario, they're kind of saying we're there. So now, if you haven't already, is the time to prep for that. And again, it's not just going to be for a pandemic. It's going to help you in multiple areas. It'll help you in the long run. And that's what we're here for, to give you that best opportunity to make the best version of you possible. Thanks, Monty. Appreciate that for being here. Thanks, Brian. That's it for tonight, gang. Again, thanks for being here. I appreciate the support. You can check these videos out. They stay on my Facebook page. They stay on Twitch for 14 days. They're on my YouTube channel as well, Pat on Your Back Personal Fitness on YouTube, POYB Fit on Facebook and Instagram, and then PSavory_POYB Fit on Twitch. You can find me on those platforms. YouTube and Facebook, they'll stay there long term. Again, Twitch, I believe, is 14 days. So check them out. Feel free to share them. Go in there and share them with people that maybe need to hear this. Maybe you know someone who struggles when there's transitions happening and they have those little issues with their workouts. Share this with them. Give them that resource to hopefully help them be a better version of themselves as well. So have a great night, everyone. Remember, stay safe, take care of yourselves, stay consistent with that health plan, with your exercise, with your nutrition. Ramp up that self-care still. Keep it at a high level. We're not out of the woods yet with this pandemic, so keep taking great care of yourself. And remember, always make yourself the priority you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Have a great night, gang. Take care.